Hello and welcome to The Federal. My name is Shreyas. A docu-series titled Dancing on the Grave has been dropped on Amazon Prime Video. The 4-part docu-series investigates the real-life gruesome murder of Shakereh Khaleeli, a high-profile and wealthy socialite who lived in Bengaluru. People still talk about the case which had shook the city of Bangalore way back in the 1990s. So what's the gory story all about? Well, take a look. One of Amazon's latest docu-series is stirring up old memories in Bengaluru. The horrific story, which made international headlines way back in the 90s, still has the power to disturb Bengalurians as well as the family members of the deceased. The story is about Shakereh Khaleeli, a beautiful and wealthy woman who was the granddaughter of the Diwan of Mysore, Sir Ismail Mirza. She went missing in 1991 under mysterious circumstances. She was also the former wife of Akbar Khaleeli, India's envoy to Iran and Australia. Shakereh Khaleeli had 4 daughters from her first marriage to Akbar Khaleeli. However, she divorced him to get married to an uneducated errand boy turned godman named Swami Shraddhanand. Official sources say that Shakereh was obsessed with having a male child, and that had something to do with her marriage to Swami Shraddhanand. Shakereh's family was naturally upset with her decision when she decided to marry Swami Shraddhanand. In fact, her mother had filed 3 to 4 cases over inheritance of property. Advocate Chinnappa K. Kambayenda was her legal counsel, and he had entrusted some of his work to his nephew M. Arun Ponappa. The Federal spoke to Arun M. Ponappa about the legal issues that Shakereh had with her mother, and this is what he had to say. Sometime in September-October 1990, Shakereh called up Chinnappa K. Kambayenda, her advocate, with whom I was working then, and requested him to send me to her house on Richmond Road since there was an income tax raid. I reached her house by about 8 a.m., stayed with Shakereh and her husband Swami Shraddhanand until the IT raid was completed in the evening. I remember Shakereh went missing just a few months after the IT raid took place. She was an aristocratic and a very good-looking lady. It is alleged that Shakereh's husband Swami Shraddhanand had transferred some of her properties into his name and even sold some of them. When Shakereh went missing, her daughter Sabha Khaleeli questioned Swami Shraddhanand about her whereabouts. Shraddhanand lied about her whereabouts for months. Later, Sabha filed a habeas corpus case at the Ashoknagar police station in Bengaluru. The Ashoknagar police suspected Swami Shraddhanand and questioned him several times. However, they weren't successful. Meanwhile, Shraddhanand enjoyed the high life at Shakereh's house holding parties. After evading the police for nearly 3 years, Shraddhanand did not expect that a police constable would crack this case. In 1994, a police constable dressed in mufti managed to befriend one of Shraddhanand's manservant and took him for a drink in one of the bars in the city. Shraddhanand's manservant got drunk and confided that he had been blackmailing his boss for nearly 3 years for killing his wife. The manservant also revealed that Shakereh's body was buried inside their house. The police swung into action and arrested Swami Shraddhanand. Shraddhanand confessed to the crime and even showed the place where he had buried his wife. The police were shocked to know that Shraddhanand had drugged his wife, sedated her, and buried her alive inside the coffin and covered it up with mud and concrete. The title of the docu-series, Dancing on the Grave, comes from the fact that Shraddhanand held house parties where he invited guests and all of them danced on Shakereh's grave unknowingly. Shakereh's daughter were agonized over the fact that Swami Shraddhanand had buried her alive. The police had made the story public after they had cracked the case, and it created international headlines. Several documentaries and articles have been written about this murder for gain. In fact, well-known filmmaker K.M. Chaitanya wanted to make a web series on the same topic a few years ago and approached several OTTs with a bound script. However, the project didn't take off as the OTTs he approached wanted him to get a legal clearance from Shakereh's daughters. Shakereh's murder was not just a high-profile case in Bengaluru but across the country. In fact, it had the many firsts in India's crime investigation. Shakereh's murder was a very big news. It made international headlines as the woman was the ex-wife of one of India's well-known diplomat, and she was also the granddaughter of Ismail Mirza, the Diwan of Mysore. In fact, it was the first case where the exhumation of the body was videographed. Not just that, it was the first time DNA tests were conducted on the dead body in India to confirm her identity. The docu-series on Amazon Prime Video tries to revisit the murder that happened in Bengaluru 30 years ago. Murli Manohar Mishra, aka Swami Shraddhanand, has spent nearly 30 years in jail. He was found guilty by 8 judges across various courts in India. Swami Shraddhanand continues to deny that he murdered his wife. He has filed for a mercy petition and the outcome is still pending. Truly, it was one of the rarest of rare cases in India because the murder was executed with cold-blooded details.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.